Hey guys, I'm Florian Kohler, also known as Venom. I'm a professional pool trick shot artist, but also a league operator for APA in Las Vegas. I've read all your comments, so let's get right into it. Another comment I really liked is from Robert P. He said the following: work on your fundamentals, you need a solid stance to improve your game. Well, cannot agree more on that, so let's talk about the stance. First off, one of the biggest mistakes I see from beginners, skill level 2 in particular, in my opinion, is they approach the table too close. So let's say they have this ball right here, we're not gonna touch the cue ball, it's gonna stay here all along. They go like down like this, and then they try to aim. So you really cannot see the ball very well from here. So you have to back up quite a bit. So I'm gonna go from much further away. So as you can see, I am much more than a cue away from the cue ball. And this is where I start my shot actually. From there, I'm already making the shot, right? So I never leave my cue ball from my side here. I'm gonna do a little bit of a step here, this way, and then from there I get in position down, right? So if I'm going again from the back, right here, foot together, I keep looking at the cue ball, one foot here and there, right? This is the proper way to get into the shot. So this is the proper way to get into your stance. Now, as far as the stance itself, as you can see, I'm gonna go down here, my front leg, a little bent, my foot, not this, a slight angle. I mean, obviously you can go a little more straight if you want to, but it's not gonna help you. Mostly just a little angle there. And as far as my back leg go, you want a decent distance, but you don't wanna be like too far, and you don't wanna be too close. Again, you gotta find what works for you. There's not one perfect recipe. You gotta find your own, right? But again, this way, comfortable, spacing here, go down like this. And as you can see, the back foot, this one here is parallel to the side of my table, just like this. And this is pretty much the best you can get as far as your footing goes. Now, stance is also more. Obviously includes your right arm, which is your stroke arm, but we're gonna talk about that later, and mainly your left arm, which is your bridge arm. So as you can see, my feet are already in position, I'm ready to go. So a lot of people that I see, again, the biggest mistake is to have your left arm or your bridge arm too straight, and that really hurts. And it's really uncomfortable, and uncomfortable means not good, because that means you're not gonna be relaxed and you're gonna miss the shot way easier. The next problem I see is having too much of a bend, which is like this. A lot of time people think it's gonna really help them to aim, which could, it's possible, you're gonna get closer to the ball. However, again, you're forcing on it, you're not relaxed. So at the end of the day, it's also putting a lot more pressure on your left leg, which is no good. So you wanna try to just have a slight bend here, not too much, not too little, and again, get as comfortable and as relaxed as possible, and here is as good of a stance as you're gonna get. Now, if you practice this, it's really gonna help you to go from a 2 to a 3. As usual, remember, APA is way more than just a pool league, it's also a community, so don't hesitate to ask the higher skill level on your team or any good captain, and if you have even more questions, don't hesitate to reach out on Facebook. We ask a lot of topics, we have a lot of Q&A in there, so make sure you go and check it out, and we're gonna try our best to answer. All right, this is it for today, guys. See you next time for another lesson. Bye.